Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to be dealing with how much you know about the marketplace that you're in, and also what is the framework we use to define the perception of your own business. And let's launch straight into the market knowledge segment by asking these questions. Firstly, is what do you know about the business that you're in? What do you know about this market, actually or potentially? What makes it special? Right? So you need to know what makes the business in this market special or unique. What is its life cycle or stages of growth? Generally, there are four, broadly speaking. Is it an introduction stage? Is it a new field? Nobody has done this before. It's groundbreaking. Is it in a growth phase where there's increasing demand that actually exceeds supply? Or is it in a maturation stage where best case scenario demand meets supply, or demand is much less than supply? And is it in a declining phase where customers are switching to alternatives? What's the estimated size of the market? How much money can be made? How big is the pie, in other words? Is it a very small pie, and are you competing for a very small sliver of that pie? Very important to be able to estimate what the size of the market is and what is currently popular and successful in the market. Answer that question. If you don't know, do the research. Then, will international trends have bearing on the business? Think about that. You have to sit back and contemplate this. Now, you might say, but listen, Chuck, I can't answer these questions. Well, where do you get these questions from? So we would say either, one or two ways or both ways, all very relevant. This is where we say, listen, do the desktop research. Google can be your friend, right? You can't trust everything you see in Google, but at least you start to understand what the scope and breadth of the business is in. So you do desktop research where you look at articles captured in newspapers, magazines, etc., social media trends even, publish research, and the old fallback going into Stats SA, for example, right? They publish research and statistics that give you an idea of the type of industries and then the size of the industries in terms of revenue figures, profitability figures, how many businesses are in that. So, it kind of gives you even a geographical segmentation as well as as far as the information is concerned. Now, some of the other ways also is to go and have a look at your competitors in the field and to understand what it is they're doing. Also, very specifically, what are they saying they're doing on their websites? What are they declaring as their sustainable competitive advantage? What sits behind their success? To learn from what is happening, what are the typical things happening in your market? Then, if you can't get access to any of the information that you seek, well, then it's time to do some field research where you contact your customers directly, right? You set up surveys, whether you do it telephonically or in person, where you have face-to-face interviews with people and ask them a couple of questions that's really relevant to you, to understand their buying behavior, all those kinds of things. Or you actually get groups of people together, interest groups, where you ask them same questions, you let them experience your product or your service, or you poll their perceptions of your product or your service, or the industry that you're in. And quite simply, you put all of this together, and then you are able then to ask the questions, right? So I wish you the best of luck with that. And so we move on to the next topic, which is really your business perception. What is your perception of your business? So the other activities is very sort of a macro, what's happening in your macro environment in the industry, what's happening beyond your business. Here we want you to consider some aspects of your business. And, we dust off the trusty old SWOT analysis for this, and literally asking yourselves these questions again about your business. So, and SWOT is SWOT, S for strengths, W for weaknesses, O for opportunities, and T for threats. And we'll start with strengths. As far as your strengths are concerned, what will sustain the business? The things that you can depend on, the things that actually informs your sustainable competitive advantage as well, right? What are your weaknesses? And how do you interpret this? Is what are those internal factors that may cause the business to fail? And this could be a variety of things. It could be a lack of skills. It could be cash flow issues, not having the funds to finance either your growth or your sales delivery, or your customer services. And O is for opportunities. What can still be profitably explored about your business? You've had an idea and you want to extend the range of your products and your services. And what does this look like? Then threats. What will reduce the survival of the business from the external environment? I mean, COVID-19, we're just coming out of this pandemic. It's still very much present, but maybe not as alarming as it was in the beginning. So you would consider this as an example. What does COVID-19 and the threat of COVID-19 have on your business? And for some of you who have already come through COVID, this whole process in the last 2.5 years, you can answer that question for yourself because you've experienced it. The rapid changes in technology, the war between Russia and Ukraine, those are threats. And normally speaking, what everybody has been experiencing is supply chain issues because of the war, a serious lack of resources, and so forth. So, and what you would then do from both these types of exercises, the one where you're thinking about your market and you need to answer the questions about those markets. And here you're thinking about your business itself. I would encourage you to list those things that you come up with so that you can take action, right? And how do you then use the answers to the SWOT analysis? Well, if it's a strength, you know what to leverage. If it's a weakness, what can you do to address that weakness? All right. And the opportunity is to take the bold step, have the confidence to step out into the place that's unfamiliar. And the threats, which everybody else is under, is to consider what to do proactively rather than reactively. So I hope you have fun with just this very brief framework for thinking about your market that you are in and your business as what it is today. Thank you.